Don't tell the captain, I put the nav lights on a couple of minutes early. Starboard. Burning brightly.
Great snorkeling, especially the octopus, until Elle scared it away.
Yes, boof, 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 boof. Lots of black ink in the water. I've never seen that before. It was really cool.
In this episode, we implement our cunning plan and do a massive overnight sail from Fethiye to Kekova, one of our favourite cruising grounds ever. I get to practice lots of cooking, we shake Dakini down and anchor by moonlight. Unfortunately, Cal gets hammered by stingers, but it doesn't stop us from exploring the ancient ruins of Aperlae by both foot and snorkel.
Cal and I want to cover a lot of miles over the next day or two to get to Kekova or Cash at least as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, the first thing we've got to do is get out of the greater Gulf of Fethiye, and the wind is right ahead of us at the moment. We're joining a million other boats. I think once around the big corner by Ollie Dennis we might be able to sail, but that's a way away yet. Trying to cut in that gap, but look at all the boats coming the other way.
Just a tad busy this morning. It must be the time that all the tour boats leave. 10:30, yep. It's really fun to watch. Right in the middle of the bay between Fethiye and Gojek. The winds are playing some games, so we have to sort of cruise right out into the middle of the bay to get the right winds. And now we're heading sort of southwest towards Cash. We've still got a good 50 miles to run. It may be an overnight if the wind stays up, but if it doesn't, we might pull into an anchorage. We came down and went zoop, and now we're heading that way. And our eventual aim is to get down into here. So we'll see how we go. We're doing all right for a catamaran. We've got 9 knots of true wind and we're making almost 5 knots over ground, so that's very good for her. We got a huge amount of fruit and veg at the market the other day, probably more than we can eat. So now we have to come up with creative ways to use it because we have a rule about not throwing out food on the boat. So Elle is making a huge pot of curry using a whole bunch of vegetables, and the last, is it the last? Or we still got more?
Nah, I'm pretty sure it's the last.
The last of the swordfish that he caught in Italy.
How amazing is that? We've still got swordfish. I've just taken the last slab of it out of the freezer. It's frozen pretty well considering we caught it about 8 months ago.
How's your curry looking?
It's just starting. It's going to take all day, probably, the way I cook. Slow.
We're coming down this way, but I couldn't get us clear enough of this corner. So to be safe, we've just tacked out. I'll come out a bit and then we'll go back down. Smells good.
Yeah.
Oh, bags of veggies everywhere.
Yeah.
Look at that produce. Cauliflower, capsicum, carrots, eggplants. How's the curry going?
Oh, it's good. I just need to microwave everything for longer, but I'll get there. We're going to make it around the corner.
Curry cooking.
Doing a green curry for a change. What we keep.
It's looking like we'll make it. Just shaking out the reef too. We had one reef in, so we're getting sort of 18, 19 knots. So we're shaking that back out now. The true wind's only about 7 or 8. We're still making good 3, 3.5, sometimes 4. That's pretty good. We're gonna make it without crashing into the land, which is good. Wee, 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 wee. Let's see how Al's curry is going. There's all sorts of stuff happening in here. It's a bit dangerous. How's the giant curry going?
It's going well, yeah. Just feeling a bit not great.
Al's had a cold lately. Not only has he had a cold, he's also had an ear infection. So he hasn't been sick for the whole time we've been sailing, so almost 2 years. And then all of a sudden, ear infection and a cold. Unlucky.
The fish is going in. Everything should pretty much be cooked. So I just got to cook the swordfish. Once it's cooked through, the curry is done. Then I'll stir through some fresh tomato into the one that I'm having when it's still super hot. So we'll just kind of blanch it a bit. Should be super tasty.
You gotta watch it, don't you? Because it slides off.
Yeah.
Sticky swordfish.
Fish is in, bubbling away. We are almost done. This swordfish is the gift that keeps on giving. It's still great. Once again, I made the curry a little hot, but very tasty.
My turn. Al's done his 2 hours. It's my turn again. It's only about 5 knots of wind, but it's right behind us now. So we have an engine on. We're making about 4.5 knots. Yeah, there you go. About 35 miles to go to Cash. Or I think sort of maybe 50 to get to Kekova. Who knows where we'll end up. We might be motoring all night. Our main sheet has got really twisted, which is what happens when the lines go around the winches. So we're just trying to untwist it, which is something we have to do every once in a while, just to keep everything running smoothly. Pretty stunning coastline along here. Very rugged. The wind's up to 13 knots, which is good. We've got the genoa out. The wind's quite fine on our stern, so I can't get the main out at this. But the good news is, with this wind and this course, we're making good about 3.7. So all good. At this speed, we'll just keep going.
Cal and I have said ever since we planned to come back to Turkey that we would make the most of wind and get as far east as we could as quickly as possible, so that in the rare opportunities to sail west we can. We are now doing that. It's an incredible day of sailing, or it's proving to be an incredible afternoon of sailing, and we're going to sail through the night, or most of the night, to get to Kekova as far east as we'll go. We just refueled today and we took on 355 litres of diesel. I haven't run the numbers. That is not a lot of diesel from Tunisia when we refueled to Fethiye in Turkey. So I think our system at the moment of how fast we're going and how much fuel we're burning and how much sailing we're doing is really efficient. It's really positive. Don't tell the captain, I put the nav lights on a couple of minutes early. Now I need to go check that they are burning brightly. Starboard, burning brightly. Port, burning brightly. Stern light, burning brightly. All our nav lights are burning brightly. Sun's got another couple of minutes, I'd say, to go down. I've brought the fishing line in. It's really got quite windy now. Okay, life jackets and the PLB are prepped, ready to go. I'm just going to headlamp this out now. That should be all we need to do. So the sun's just going down, and Cal and I are going to follow this route around the outside of all the Greek islands and into Kekova overnight. We did contemplate the legality of this. We're quite confident Innocent Passage should allow us to take the most expeditious route rather than the far more dangerous, especially at night, trying to sail through all those islands. So doing some system operator checks on our radar, so little things like making sure that ranging in and out works, change gain modes, check that AIS tracks are displaying on your radar. Cal's due up in about 5 minutes. I hope she brings a jersey and maybe some trackies, because it is getting pretty cold with that. We still have 32 miles to run. ETA's hovering around 4 in the morning still, but that would be nice to get there that early, but a bit annoying to be anchoring at 4 in the morning. Not sure if it's showing up particularly well, but this is Kalkan, quite a large town on this coast. Not the best anchoring or mooring, but we went there last year. It was quite cool, but we're going to skip it on this rush east.
My turn. It's 9 PM. Sun's gone down. There's just a tiny bit of twilight left. We'll do 3-hour shifts overnight. Can you turn the radar reflector improver thingy on?
Yeah.
We've got a thing called a CME radar enhancer, which basically makes us look a lot bigger to other vessels on radar. So we turn that on at night, just again to reduce the chance of anyone not seeing us properly. Al's in there making himself dinner. We've just checked the boat. Got my life jacket on. I'm strapped in. I'm ready. I'm up here for 3 hours, and we're doing about 5 knots, which gets us there at about 4 AM. And unlike when we used to drive frigates and you'd slow down to get there at the right time, like in daylight, with sailing you just got to make the most of the wind, so you got to go, because the wind could die at any stage. So we might end up getting there early, or we might just hold off the entrance into the channel and into Kekova Roads until light. We might see what time we get there, and also how bright the moon is. At the moment the moon's almost full and it's due to come up shortly, so that's going to make the night a lot more pleasant when there's a lot of moon light. Probably hard to see, but that really bright light is the moon, bright orange moon. It's incredible. Must be a full moon tonight, surely. It's about 11 PM. I've got 1 more hour left on my watch before I wake Al up. I can see a lighthouse in the distance. I can Still see the coastline. The moon is beautifully bright and keeping everything nice and clear. And there's a few other merchant ships around. I think we might be the only sailing boat, but that's okay.
Well, you can probably hear that gentle rumble. That is the starboard engine. Unfortunately, the wind died at about 2:30 this morning, and so we've got a couple of hours to motor in, but we've still done really well considering. It's a shame the fueling took a little bit longer than we would have liked. Otherwise, we probably would have done better with the wind. It's been lovely having the company of this moon almost all night.
My turn, it is 3 a.m. and I am back on watch. We're not actually that far away. The moonlight's beautiful. Probably can't see it that well. I'm just coming into Kekova now. We're back in Turkish waters. We've been through Greek waters using the Rite of Innocent Passage. It's totally calm. There's a few other boats at anchor that we can see. We are heading straight for an anchorage that we've used before because we know exactly where the mark is. Because at night it's always easier to go to a place you know. So we'll go in there and see if our spot's free. And then the sun will come up in about an hour. Hopefully I will be asleep by then. And just like that, we are anchored. It is 4:30 in the morning and we're just packing up and hopefully we'll get some sleep. Okay, so this morning we've had about 2 or 3 hours sleep and we're just trying to get the footy. Got the extension cord set up because the phone was dying and we're trying to get the footy, which is a bit intermittent. The reception's not great here, but it's not too bad. There's a few other boats around. And I am ready for a swim. We couldn't swim in Fethiye, so this is very exciting that we can swim again. How you doing this morning, Al? Tired?
Yeah, I'm tired. I've still got this little head cold. When I go for a swim, I'm going to keep my head out of the water, but I'm still getting my body in there.
And it's much cooler here already. It feels so much cooler. It's only 31 inside the boat. If it was Fethiye, it'd be at least 36 by now. Looks like there is Dakini fritters on the menu for brunch. Life's good. Elle has taken over the kitchen again. Got roast veg, roast cauliflower, a whole bunch of dishes, and Dakini fritters. Oh, really good.
I'm having some of Carl's leftover sumaki cauliflower on top of my zucchini fritters with fresh yogurt and sriracha.
It's amazing how creative you get when there's no shops around and you've got a bucket load of veggies on board. So you just start seeing what works. So I just headed out for a nice little snorkel. Felt some little prickles, you know, like when you've got dry skin and you go in seawater. And then it got worse and worse until it got really bad, like really stingy. And I realised I was getting stung by something. Some sort of little jellyfish or something. Unfortunately, I was a fair way from the boat at that stage. So by the time I got back, I am covered in these stings. So I've taken an antihistamine, had a freshwater shower to wash them all off. Yeah, it's about all you can do. You hope you don't react too much. But they are quite stingy. And this morning we are off on a bit of an adventure. There are some ruins about 2 kilometres hike that way that you can actually swim over, unlike the ones in the main part of Kekova. These ones, the tourist boats don't seem to go to and you can swim over them. So we're going to do it, but it does mean we have to do the hike with our snorkeling gear. So I have my bag packed. Looks like a lovely day. There's a bit of a light breeze. We've got plenty of water. Should be good. Okay, so first challenge was to find somewhere to park the dinghy. We found an old abandoned rock wharf. There's a couple other wharfs, but they're owned by the restaurants. There's an expectation if you use those, you have to go in there for lunch. Got my flippers, got all my gear. Al's got his gear. That's it, we're off.
We're on the Lycian Way. This is the huge walking track that covers all of the Lycian Empire, or a lot of the Lycian Empire. So this is actually one of the areas where you catch the boat from here back to, I think, the little village right inside Kekova before you start the walk again.
And it's even marked, which is really cool. There's white and red stripes everywhere, so you know you're on the right track.
Oh, it's marked, it's got information signs.
And about 15 or 20 minutes of walking later, we're here. Starting to see all the ruins on the hill. my flippers are a lot taller than me and they keep getting caught on the trees above, so Elle has kindly taken them.
We're just walking through the necropolis, which is on sort of the outskirts of the Acropolis, which is the fortified part of the city.
Oh, it's hot. Hot. Very hot. These are the tombs that you see all over Kekova. Some up on mountains, some under the ocean.
You getting your Indiana Jones on?
Very much like that. Very explory. Very keen for a swim though.
Kel and I are snorkeling at the ruins of Aperlae. Stark contrast to last year. There's 2 tour boats here. There were 6 motos back where we birthed. Last time I was here it was a very, very empty. Our refreshing dip is already a distant memory.
Airtight today. Proper hot, but luckily we've only got about 2 k's or so to walk back. Well worth it though, really good spot and some great snorkeling. Especially the octopus, that was my favourite part until Elle scared it away.
Yes, buff, 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 lots of black ink in the water. I've never seen that before, it was really cool. So she does.
Stainless polishing is a bit of a never-ending battle. The boat's been a bit smashed with dust and all sorts of stuff in the last few weeks. So, look how dirty it's got. So it's time to hit it again. First step is just to give it a nice wash to get rid of all the salt and the muck and the dust. And after that, I get to polish it. One side's done. Look at that shine! See some more shiny bits? Shiny.
I haven't made one of these since last year. This is the Turkish menemen, Turkish scrambled eggs. We found some jalapenos, we think. Chuck them in, should be good. I've been doing loads of filming.
Nothing better than getting up to the smell of a delicious breakfast that Elle is cooking for me. All done. And it's absolutely delicious. This is probably my favourite breakfast in the world.
Yeah, I must admit, it's actually really delicious. This one, I haven't done it for a while. It's turned out really well. Stubborn. Burning brightly. Caught. Burning brightly. No other masthead lights up there.